Hello everyone and welcome to the Dragon Code. In this video we are going to look at break and continue keyword that are used in loops and nested loops. So let's start. I used break keyword in previous video in switch statement, but you can also use it in any loop, do, while and for. It is used to terminate loop. Let's see how it works. I will write one for loop, and to do it faster I will write for and press tab. I will put 10 here, which means this loop will be executed 10 times. But I will add if statement and pass condition if I is 5, loop will be terminated. And I will also print I in each iteration. Let's run this code. As you can see, when I is 5, loop is terminated. And if I remove this if statement, loop will be executed 10 times. Loop will be terminated in this line of code. So if I move this line of code here and run this code, 5 will be also printed because it first prints 5 and then check if I is equal to 5 and then terminates loop. Another keyword that is used in loops is continue keyword. Continue keywords terminates only iteration where condition is true, but it doesn't terminates entire loop. Let's try it. I will move this line of code here and I will write here continue. Let's run this code. As you can see, 5 is not printed. So when this condition is true, this iteration will be terminated, but loop will be continued. And iteration will be terminated in this line of code. So if I move this line of code here and run this code, 5 will be printed because it first prints I and then check if I is equal to 5 and then it terminates iteration. Let's move now on nested loops. Nested loop is basically a loop inside another loop. I will write one nested loop. It consists of outer loop and inner loop. And I will print hello world. And when I run this code, hello world is printed 9 times. In nested loops, it is good practice to give different names to the variables that are used to initialize outer loop and inner loop. In this case, I use I for outer loop and J for inner loop. But how does nested loop work? When you use for loop, it executes a block of code inside curly brackets as long as condition is true. in this case 3 times. So this code inside curly brackets is going to be executed. It could be anything. It could be number. It could be boolean value. Whatever is inside curly brackets, it will be executed. And in this case, with nested for loop, it means that code inside these curly brackets will be executed as long as condition is true. And in this case, it is inner for loop. This code inside outer for loop will be executed 3 times. So it is same like you write this inner for loop 3 times. Hello world is printed also 9 times. So I'm using for loop to execute another for loop multiple times. And if I want to execute it 5 times, I just write here 5. And now this for loop is executed 5 times. So, but in each inner for loop, hello world is executed 3 times. So it means 5 times 3, it is 15. So hello world is going to be printed 15 times. Let's now write these two patterns using nested for loops. First the left one and then the right one. In left pattern, asterisk number increases by 1 in each row. So in first row will be 1 asterisk, in second 2 asterisks, in third 3 asterisks, and so on. Let's first write that pattern with individual for loops. So in the first row it will be 1 asterisk. And after that we need to print new line. So this will be executed only once. Then I also need this code, but here it will be executed 2 times. And then 3 times, and then 4 times, and so on. When I run this code, you see that pattern. As you can see, everything in these 4 loops is same except this number. This number increases by 1 in each row, but everything else in 4 loops is same. So when you need to execute some code multiple times, it is much easier to use for loops. And when some value is changing, you can use variables. Let's write this pattern with nested for loop. I will first delete all these 4 loops. I need first outer loop, because I will first print 4 rows. I will put 4 here, and now I need to write inner for loop. I will change this variable name, and I will also have at the beginning 4. Now I will print asterisk, and after each for loop, after each inner for loop is executed, I will print new line. Let's run this code. And now there are 4 asterisks in each row. This value determines how many asterisks will be printed in each row. If I write here, for example, 10 and run this code, there will be 10 asterisks in each row. So this value determines how many asterisks we will have in each row, and this value determines how many rows will we have. So if I put 10 here, there will be 10 rows with 10 asterisks. This value should change after each iteration. It should start by 1 and it should be increased by 1 after each iteration. And for that, we need to use variables. I will first declare variable. Its initial value should be 1. And I will put that variable here, and it should be increased by 1 after each for loop is executed. So after each for loop, we will increase this variable by 1. Let's now run this code. And as you can see, this is the wanted pattern. This value, which determines number of rows in pattern, is constant. It would be much better if we can ask user to enter the number of rows. So let's write that program. I will need another variable called rows. I will ask user to enter number of rows. I will request input, and I will put that variable here. Let's now run this program. So if user enter 7, there will be 7 rows. If user enter 20, there will be 20 rows. Okay, let's now write the second pattern. Second pattern is similar to the first one, but in this case, number of asterisks is decreasing by 1 in each row. I will first write that pattern with individual for loops like first one, like with first one. And this pattern will also have 4 rows. So it is 4. In this pattern, number of asterisks in first row is equivalent to the number of rows. So if there are 4 rows, in first row there will be 4 asterisks, in second, third, 3 asterisks, in third, 2 asterisks, and in the last fourth row there will be 1 asterisk. So the next row will be 3, next 2, And in the last one, let's run this code. This is that pattern. Like in first pattern, everything is same except this value. But in this pattern, it starts from number of rows and then it decreases by 1 after each iteration. Let's write this pattern with nested for loop. And in this pattern, value that is changing won't be initially 1, it will initially be equivalent to the number of rows. So after user enters the number of rows, we will assign value of that variable to the num variable. And I need to decrease by 1 num variable after each iteration. Let's run this code. So user enters number of rows and this is the wanted pattern. Let's run this again. For example, 14. It is again wanted pattern. So when user entered 14, first it is printed 14 asterisk and then num variable is decreased by 1, it is 13, and so on after each iteration. This is all for this video. If you like this video and want more videos like this, press like button and subscribe and see you next time.